Sir, the motion filed by the two nominated members calls for the election system to be fine-tuned. We in the Workers' Party are unable to support the motion for the simple reason that we have never accepted the GRC system and the motion attempts to entrench it. The motion is also flawed in some respects. First, it attempts to refine the GRC system by providing that the moment majority member has left the GRC, a by-election for the GRC will be called. We do not see the justification for the departure of any single member, including the minority member, to trigger a by-election in the whole GRC. In our view, this is a disproportionate outcome. Elections are won or lost by GRC teams, not on the merits of the minority member alone. Each voter votes for the GRC team for different reasons. Some may well vote because of the minority member, but others may do so because of the team leader or anchor minister, or because of some other MP. In 1999, one of the members in Jalan Besar GRC, Mr. Chu Wee Kiang, resigned his seat due to a criminal conviction. The House then debated the issue of whether to call a by-election in Jalan Besar GRC. Then Leader of the House, Mr. Wong Kan Seng, spoke generally about why one member's departure should not trigger a by-election in a GRC. He said, and I quote, "The legislative intent was not to allow any particular MP so elected as part of a group of MPs for the GRC to hold the rest to ransom, to resignation or otherwise. The thinking then was that all the other MPs should not be forced to vacate their seats on account of one MP vacating his seat for whatever reason, death, resignation, or whatever," unquote. This highlights one of the main weaknesses of the GRCs, that a team member's non-cooperation could sound the political death knell for the rest. This is unjustifiable. Next, the motion goes on to propose that once half or more of the members of a GRC team have departed, a by-election in the GRC should be called as well. To propose this means that we are prepared to accept the situation where one or even two members in a GRC have left. No by-election needs be called. The reality is that the moment even one member of the team leaves, the issue of the constituents being underrepresented immediately arises. To say that constituency work can be even by non-MPs is a dubious assertion, as the residents will feel shortchanged. What about the parliamentary work? Can this be covered? Each MP is restricted to 5 parliamentary questions per sitting and can only make one speech in each debate. Just doing simple mathematics, the number of parliamentary questions and speeches that can be made by the GRC team will be diminished the moment any MP vacates his seat. If GRC sizes are increased in the future, this motion will envisage 3, 4, or even more vacancies before a by-election in a GRC is called. The underrepresentation of the constituents will become even more indefensible. Third, the motion asks the House to introduce amendments to the Parliamentary Elections Act such that a writ of by-election shall be called in the event that a member of a single-member constituency vacates his or her seat for any reason. There is actually no need for the House to do this. This is already provided for under the Constitution and the Parliamentary Elections Act. Article 49 of the Constitution already states that whenever the seat of an elected member has become vacant for any reason, the vacancy shall be filled by election in the manner provided by law, meaning that it should be done. The Parliamentary Elections Act itself, at Section 24, further provides that the President shall issue a writ of election to supply vacancies caused by death, resignation, or otherwise. There can be no argument that when an MP in an SMC vacates his seat, there is no vacancy. The issue is really with the timing of the by-election, which I shall return to later. Sir, indeed, the motion shows that the GRC system is a system which does not promote representative democracy. The attempts in the motion to cure the problems with GRCs do not address the fundamental problem of the GRC, that it dilutes the voter's voice. Instead of making a clear choice of which person they want to represent them, They are asked to pick a team of people, and the outcome of their vote will depend on the aggregate outcome of voting in other constituencies. At the practical level, it also increases the bar for those who intend to contest, increasing the likelihood of walkovers. What Mr. Wong Kan Seng had said in 1999 about one member holding the rest to ransom also applies at the nomination stage when candidates are putting themselves up for election. GRC team members can hold the others to ransom, as the whole team must stand to qualify as candidates in the correct racial mix. In view of all these objections to the original motion, I would like to propose that the motion be amended such as to call on the government to introduce amendments to the Constitution to abolish GRCs and to revert to a system of single-member seats, and to set a 3-month time limit for all by-elections to be called. Sir, I beg to move.
Copy of the amendment?
Yes, sir. I believe a written copy has been given to the clerk.
Mr. Wan. Well, the amendment seems to be in order. Are copies available to all members?
Could I request the clerk to circulate to members?
Maybe you would like to move your amendment, Mr. Lim, now?
So I beg to move that the words in the motion from fine-tune the electoral system to by-election shall be called in the last sentence be deleted, and the following words be inserted in their place. A. Introduce amendments to the Constitution to abolish group representation constituencies and revert to a system of single-member constituencies. And B. Introduce amendments to the Parliamentary Elections Act such that a writ of by-election shall be issued in the event a member vacates his seat or her seat for any reason. And so the proposed amended motion has also been put down for the convenience of members on the paper. So I beg to move.
Finish your speech? Want to speak anymore?
So I will now speak on the amended motion. Why abolish GRCs after 20 years? To answer this, we should trace history and how we have evolved. We should then ask, are GRCs good for the people or good for the PAP?